Even though many of them are not famous or even well-known, some of them are some of the most powerfully influential people in this world who try to move this world towards something that's better than we read about and that we see on the internet. They are people who are deeply connected to the cause of lighting a candle amid the storm that rages on in our world today. They are people from many different walks of life. But here's the thing, right? They have this one thing in common that I've noticed, and that thing is this. They seem to have identified what their deep and profound passions or deep gladness is. And in having discovered that one thing, they have intentionally, and with much labor, I might add, worked to cultivate that passion and skill. And ultimately have set those passions to meet the world's hunger and need. Now, look, see? I aspire to be one of these people. This is why I picked up a camera. But make no mistake, I am very, very much still a work in progress. And I am full of cracks. If you come up close, you'll notice. But that's okay. Because I believe that only when we can embrace the brokenness that is inside of us and the brokenness that is in each other, and perhaps even accept or even celebrate the mystery and the unanswered questions about God and our own lives, that we can then truly start to live a life of meaning and of compassion. Still, I am a man on a mission, as they say, and I've identified that for me, my passion lies in telling visual stories like this as a documentary photographer, and to even perhaps be a voice for those who have none. To tell stories of both heartbreak and of joy, like this baby here. See, I was recently in Brazil, like I said, telling stories about children who are ages like between 9 and 13 who are sex trafficked. But also stories of joy, of people who stand by them and that love them, and they work tirelessly to provide a better life for them. It was an assignment that was both heartbreaking and hopeful. This thing here, I brought this with me. This is a camera, but in reality, it's just a simple thing. See, it just moves light in and out of its dark black box. But when used with purpose and with intentionality, though, it has for me become the tool that I have chosen to use to celebrate our light and to meet the hunger and needs of our dark world. I have a long way to go, and I will spend the rest of my life most likely trying my darndest to be good at it. But I know that love from a place of deep gladness and passion, man, it is the most powerful force in life. Right? When you're passionate about something, don't you just do it just that much better? When you're interested, or you're sitting in a class that's really interesting, that's like sparking your creativity or your energy or something else deep in you, you pay attention just a little bit harder. That's why it's important that we become passionate about something in our lives. See, what about you? What are the deep gladness and passions of your lives? What objects can you hold up and say, this is the thing that I will use to change the world, even if that world is just your own small community? Is it a pen? Is it a camera like me? Is it your voice? Or is it your programming skills like Erica? She's a great math person. Or a soccer ball for you athletes out there. Or a violin for you musicians. Or maybe even your lab beakers or pipettes. See, my wife's a scientist. I know what a pipette is. To change the world, maybe to come up with a cure for cancer or something like that. A character in the movie Hugo. Has anyone seen Hugo at all? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's terrible. It's a good movie. But the character said something like this. When we are not doing something that we are made for, it's like we're somehow just a little broken. Or something like that. What are you made for? You guys, this time that's given to you now and this age in your lives is an awesome, awesome gift. Oh, I gotta stop here. That's Eric. Nice. Okay. It's an awesome, awesome gift and a profound opportunity. Look, you guys, I get it. I know it's hard being a teenager. I was once your age. Believe me, I get it. I know that you just have a crap load of things to think about, to deal with, both drama-filled and also seriously real. I totally get that for sure. I've been there. Still though, you guys, you can't deny the fact that you've been given the gift of time and space to work with these fine teachers here at this school, to not only search and to dig deep, to uncover the deep passions of your heart, but also you have the youthful energy to dedicate an enormous amount of time to cultivate and grow these passions, to grow those talents, and to grow those skills. What an amazing opportunity and time that you have. What an exciting period in your lives. But look, I won't lie to you, and I won't give you a flowery view of the future and say, oh, if you just do this or that, or follow this path or that path, it's all going to work out. You know that's just bull, right? Because it won't. Life is hard. You know that. And life is harder as you get older and older, as passions get tossed aside, and it becomes harder to be more daring and harder to be more brave. So as exciting as this time is in your life, as you transition from children into young adults, it is also a scary and confusing time, isn't it? I get it. So here's the challenge for you as I close this up. Use your time wisely in the here and now to discover within you what that deep passion is. Be bold in your trying. Take risks. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of risks like, hey, what does it feel like to get drunk at a party? We all know it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that never ends well. I'm talking about the kinds of risk, the kind of things that scare the living, words I can't say, the school out of you, but because you know it can lead to greatness. As the late Steve Jobs says, be foolish in this way, in this risk-taking. Attempt the things that move you out of your comfort zone. Because it is in those places that perhaps you will discover the things that you love, and perhaps just as important, discover the things that are just not worth your time or your energy. And once you find that, dedicate yourself to cultivating and growing that passion and skill until it becomes a very part of your own body. See, that now when I walk into a room, I can identify what settings my camera needs to be on without even looking at my viewfinder, because it's just so much a part of who I am. Use your parents, your teachers, and one another as your guides and as your companions on this journey. We just can't do it alone. It's just too hard. Right? It's just too hard. For everyone is fighting a hard battle. So help one another to get there. And then, and this is the really important part, don't just simply stop there and be satisfied with your own pleasure and joy that you get from it, but put it towards the work of service and of peace and of justice in your community. Why? Well, a lot of reasons, but here's one. Because the real power in discovering and growing one's deep passion and gladness is not in our own satisfaction and joy, even though that's wonderful and that's great. But here it is. It is when those passions come face to face with a hurting and hungry world, both metaphorically and literally. In service and in peace and in justice, as Buechner's quote suggests. Use this time that you have now to discover and cultivate those passions, you guys. This world needs you. This world needs you. Your discovery and dedication to your passions and your wise use of your time and energy is the only hope that we all have. And so if you can't do it, you guys, or if you won't do it, then we just might as well just hang it all up. You just might as well hang it up. That is how important you all are. The storm rages on. It is your responsibility to our hurting world to meet it with grace and with compassion and with passion. It is a responsibility of us all. Prepare yourselves now to do the work the world will need from you. The world is full of light, but there's also much darkness in it. We just saw in Connecticut what happened to all those children and those teachers and those aides. And no matter how many candles we light, it just seems like the dawn is a million miles away when we see heart-wrenching things like that. So, in light of that, I leave you with this one last encouragement from this woman whose last name I'm going to butcher, but she's a humanitarian by the name of Mata Ameritana Damahi. And she says this: don't be discouraged by your incapacity to dispel darkness from the world. Light your little candle and step forward. Students, don't be discouraged by your incapacity to dispel darkness from this world. Just simply light a candle and step forward.